The morning spar at Kang's MMA gym was over, but the room still felt like it was moving. The mats were scuffed, one glove had rolled near the wall, and the heavy bag still swung from the force left in the room. Tae sat on the mat with a towel over his head, breathing hard, but smiling like pain was part of breakfast. Teddy stood by the bench, unwrapping his hands, cold and annoyed. Tae peeked out from under the towel. "You look mad." Teddy pulled the wrap loose. "You talk too much." Tae grinned. "That means I'm alive." Teddy did not smile. He threw his wrap onto the bench. "Barely." Jiwon stood nearby with her foam stick, watching them like she had seen this exact disaster before. "Are you two done?" Tae lifted his hand. "I was done when he tried to fly at me." "You moved." Tae pointed at himself. "That's what I'm supposed to do." Teddy's face stayed sharp as he stepped away. "Not fast enough." Tae started to stand, but Jiwon tapped the foam stick against the mat. "My father wants to see both of you upstairs." Tae froze halfway up. "Are we in trouble?" Jiwon did not even need to think about it. "You're always in trouble." Tae looked at Teddy, but Teddy was already walking toward the door. Tae sighed. "That sounds like yes. Move." Jumping up, he followed him, still unable to stop talking. "You say that like you're the boss." "I am." Jiwon followed behind them, already regretting the next conversation. "It is too early for both of you." The walk upstairs felt heavier than it should have. Tae trailed one step behind Teddy and whispered, "If I'm getting scolded, you're getting scolded too." Teddy looked down at him just enough to be threatening. "Quiet." Jiwon followed behind them and muttered, "Please don't embarrass me in front of my father." The door to Master Kang's office waited ahead, closed and silent. Master Kang's office was calm, but the walls were full of old violence. Fight photos, trophies, and faded memories surrounded the room. One framed picture stood out, Master Kang beside Danny Miller. Teddy noticed it, but his face did not change. On Master Kang's desk sat 2 black cards, each marked with a silver Eclipse Dominion emblem. Tae leaned closer. "Gift cards?" Jiwon closed her eyes. No. Tae picked up one of the black cards like it might explode or vanish. "They look expensive." "They are account access cards." "For Eclipse Dominion?" "Eclipse Dominion Online has been active for 3 years. Fighters, streamers, guilds, sponsors, and pro teams are already inside it." Tae looked down at the card again. "So, we're late?" Teddy picked up the other card. "Doesn't matter." Master Kang watched both boys carefully. "The game reads real movement, balance, timing, reaction, breathing, weight shift, combat instinct." Tae's eyes lit up. "So it knows if I move right?" "It knows if you lie." Jiwon crossed her arms. "If you make your avatar taller, heavier, longer, or different from your real body, your spacing will be wrong." Tae nodded slowly. "So, if I get stronger, it has to be me." Master Kang gave one small, approving nod. Master Kang slid the cards forward. "These are linked to your subscription accounts. Do not lose them." "We have a dive room?" Jiwon pointed with her thumb. 6 pods. Tae's mouth opened. 6? Jiwon said, "My father and some of the fighters have used them for a year." "Nobody told me?" Jiwon stared at him. "You thought the storage room was haunted." Jiwon led them to the room Tae had always thought was storage. When she opened the door, a soft blue-white glow spilled into the hall. 6 full-dive pods sat against the wall, sleek and black, each one shaped like a sealed capsule. "This was here the whole time?" Jiwon moved to the control panel. "Yes." Tae circled the nearest pod like it was a spaceship. "So we sleep in this?" Jiwon corrected him. "You dive." Saying the idea out loud. "But we lay down," Jiwon said. "Yes." Teddy opened his assigned pod and got in without hesitation. Tae stared. "You're not even curious?" Teddy closed his eyes. Waste of time. Jiwon began syncing the 2 cards. 3 Eclipse Dominion days equals 12 real-life hours. If you dive for a full session, use the time properly. Tae turned toward her. 3 days? She nodded. In-game, yes. Follow the beginner story quests. Talk to the village elder. Clear the route. Do not bother other beginners. Tae climbed into his pod. Can we eat in there? Jiwon blinked. That is what you ask? Teddy muttered. Idiot. The pods sealed. Blue light swept across the room, and the system voice echoed softly. Account synchronization completed. Full dive connection stable. Welcome to Eclipse Dominion Online. Tae's vision washed white. When the light cleared, he stood in a clean mirror space, facing an avatar that looked exactly like him. Same height, same face, same frame. Tae raised one hand, and the avatar copied him. He threw a jab, slipped left, and smiled when the mirror followed every motion. A glowing menu appeared beside Tae. Height, weight, reach, build, face, hair, eyes. Jiwon's warning came back clearly. Do not change your body. Tae looked over the options for half a second, then closed them. If I get stronger, it should still be me. The system registered his choice. Movement sync locked, body calibration complete, combat response pattern recorded. Tae looked at himself one more time and grinned. It really was him. The class menu opened in front of Tae. Warrior, ranger, mage, assassin, fist fighter. Tae did not read the descriptions. His hand went straight to fist fighter. The system confirmed the class, and his avatar changed into basic martial gear, simple cloth, foot guards, and beginner hand wraps. No weapon, no shine, just hands, feet, and movement. Tae looked down and smiled. Yeah, this one. He typed his name, Tae-Ying. In another white space, Teddy stood before his own mirror. His avatar matched his real body, same height, same build, same cold eyes. He closed every body option without changing anything. He selected Fist Fighter, the hair menu appeared, and that was the one thing he touched. His avatar's hair shifted into blonde hair, pulled into a compact samurai bun, sharp and controlled. Teddy studied the silhouette. Good. Then typed Theo-Ko white light flashes, system, transferring to beginner village. Tae dropped into beginner village face first. Dirt puffed around him, and nearby beginners stopped to stare. Tae lifted his head slowly. I'm okay. He pushed himself up and wiped dust from his mouth. This place has strong ground. Stone roads, wooden shops, food stalls, quest boards, guards, and wandering players filled the village around him. A quest marker glowed above an elderly NPC near the fountain. Before Tae could move, a party invite opened in front of his face. The invite was from Kang. Tae accepted instantly. A moment later, Teddy landed in front of him cleanly on both feet. Tae stared at the blonde samurai bun. You look like my friend Teddy with boss hair. Teddy's eye twitched. I am Teddy. A party invite appeared for Theo-Ko, and Teddy clicked accept like the window had annoyed him. Blue light formed again, and Kang stepped into beginner village. Ji-won looked nothing like the girl from the gym now. Her name floated above her, Kang. She wore high-level paladin armor in white, gold, silver, and dark blue, with bright holy effects clean enough to make every beginner nearby stare. Tae looked up at her. You look expensive, Ji-won said. Had cap level 60. Tae nodded. That means expensive. Teddy looked her gear over once and gave a quiet, unimpressed sound. Ji-won opened a glowing map and pointed to the beginner route. You are both level 1. Do not act special. Talk to the village elder. Follow the beginner storyline. Clear the route. Reach level 10. Then you can enter the sparring arena. Tae repeated the important parts. Village elder. Storyline. Level 10. Sparring. Ji-won added, and do not bother other beginners. Tae nodded quickly. Don't bother beginners. Ji-won turned to Teddy. That was mainly for you. Before she could say more, her guild chat flashed red. Rival guild players had jumped her people near Iron Root Pass. Open map clash. They needed Kang now. Her expression changed at once, from annoyed big sister to a guild leader-level paladin. She looked at Tae and Teddy. Follow the route. Do not leave the beginner area. Do not start extra problems. Tae saluted and said, Got it. They walked out the village into the goblin field. Tae spotted the goblins and laughed. They're small. Then move faster. A goblin rushed Tae with a spear. Tae slipped outside the thrust, jabbed, crossed, chopped a low kick. The movement looked beautiful. The damage numbers did not. Tae stared. Why are the numbers small? The goblin stood back up. Tae blinked. Oh, you're still here. Teddy stepped into another goblin's range. He slipped a club swing, fired a jab, cross, hook, low kick, and sweep. The goblin tumbled across the field, but the numbers stayed low. Teddy's eye twitched. Weak. Tae asked. The goblin? Teddy looked at his beginner gloves. The gloves. Other beginners stopped to watch. They could see the movement was real, but the system still cared about attack power. Other beginners start watching because Tae and Teddy look stronger than they actually are. Nearby beginners stop to watch Tae and Teddy moving cleanly. Those two move crazy. A mage girl lowers her staff. They're dodging everything. Then, a random sword beginner walks up and clears a goblin in one easy swing. Tae slowly turns in disbelief. His stick is stronger than my whole combo. Beginner points at Tae's gloves. Those free training gloves barely have attack power. Again. The field finally rewards Teddy, and that is when the trouble truly begins. Tae and Teddy continue clearing goblins despite weak damage. Then the field finally paid Teddy back. A tougher goblin scout rushes Teddy with a shield. Teddy feints with his shoulder and steps in. Cross, low kick, knee. Spinning back kick finishes the goblin into light. The green border means rarity, but to Teddy it means permission to get worse. A green-bordered loot window opens in front of Teddy. Item acquired. Goblin Crusher Gauntlet / Rarity. Green / Class Requirement. Fist Fighter. Close on the gauntlet itself, rugged cloth wrap, leather straps, brass knuckle protection, scratched metal plates. Tae rushes over. Is that fists? Teddy equips it. Teddy flexes once. Good. One clean hit changes the whole rhythm of the grind. A goblin charges Teddy immediately after the equip. Teddy steps in with one clean right hand. The goblin dissolves into light instantly. Tae's mouth falls open. You got damage now. Teddy looks at the floating number and then the field. Good. Then, that when the grieving start. A beginner sword player runs toward a goblin near the fence. Teddy dashes past him and uppercuts the goblin first. Beginner stops in shock. Hey, that was mine. Teddy walks past, slow. Tae behind him with an apologetic smile. Sorry. He thinks the goblins are challenging him. By now, the field is starting to understand that these two are not normal beginners. A mage begins casting at another goblin. Teddy cuts in first with a jump kick. The mage's fireball hits empty dirt. Mage glares. Seriously? Weak. Wider view of angry beginners and indifferent Teddy moving onward. From that point on, Teddy got worse. Teddy studies Tae the same way he studies every useful opening. Teddy notices Tae weaving through multiple goblins without getting caught. After a while, Teddy noticed something useful. Close on Tae, slipping one spear and sidestepping another. Teddy points toward a small cluster near rocks. Tag them. Tae blinks. Tag them? Teddy doesn't elaborate. Bring them here. Tae does not know he is becoming the puller, but his feet already understand the job. Tae jogs toward the cluster, so I touch them and run back. Teddy waits in stance. Move. Tae taps one goblin with a jab. Tae tags another with a low kick. Tae ducks under a spear and bumps a third with his shoulder. The goblins chase him like a problem, and Tae runs back like it is a game. 3 goblins turn and chase Tae. Tae running back with a huge grin. They like me. Teddy deadpan. Stupid. Teddy steps in to meet the group. Teddy clears the group with cross, low kick, sweep, knee, and back kick. Their teamwork is ugly, loud, efficient, and definitely not what G1 meant. Goblins dissolve into light around Teddy. That worked. Teddy points to the next cluster without looking at Tae. Again, wider field view of the tactic repeating. So they made a system. Angry field chat boxes appear over background players. The blonde one keeps taking mobs. The smiling one keeps dragging them. Tae sheepish while looting. I think people are getting mad. Now, just like that, Teddy learned how to grief players. Want to see what happens after Teddy and Tae log on to the game? Catch part 2 of episode 1 on Saba Webtoon and find out what happens next. Like, subscribe, and don't miss the next battle.